You're gonna redo it?
Hello.
I'm not that type of person that likes to say nice things about people in front of them. So if you're watching this video, Joey, don't watch it. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Luna over here. I'm a real estate agent here in Philly. For those of you guys who haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. I post pretty much daily and talking about new real estate agent tips, staying the life. So I'm just using this channel to basically documenting my journey. If you guys haven't subscribed, make sure you do so. In today's video, we're gonna be talking about me and my broker. And Joey, if you're watching this video, please don't watch it because it's gonna be so cringe. Say nice things about people in front of them. I like to kind of just, you know, like mess with them and just be mean to each other. That's kind of dynamic that we have in the office anyway. Before I get into the video, if you guys are watching who is also a new real estate agent, that if you want to interview a broker, they must have those 4 must-have items. Number 1 is they need to be self-practicing selling real estate. Unless they've done it for a decade, they're successful, now they're just laying back, having other people do the legwork, but they have to be successful in doing it, therefore they can teach you. And number 2 is they have to want you to get better. They have to feel proud of you. They have to be there for you and teach you along the way. And number 3 is integrity. And number 4, they can't throw you under the bus. No matter what kind of mistakes as an agent that you did, they need to be there to help you. If they have all these 4 things, then I think you got yourself a pretty good broker. I'm gonna tell you guys how I met Joey. I've had 3 brokers in my entire real estate career, and there is no who's better, who's not, because all 3 of them that I have encountered, they're all super respectful, they're really successful mega agents, and they have great integrity. But I'm just talking about Joey particularly because I ended up working with him for the longest time, and he has witnessing me from a brand new agent up till right now. So that's who I'm going to be talking about. So how did I meet Joey? If you guys watched my previous video, 17 until the end of 2017, I switching from KW Philly. I was browsing different real estate company. So I met a friend who is actually a insurance agent back at State College. And Andy was like, Luna, you need to use your Mandarin skills to put that into work. Do you even know like where do Chinese people go get mortgage? Like, do you even know how to help them qualify? And I'm like, no. The only thing I know is how to do rental. I didn't even get that far yet. So I'm like, if I speak Mandarin, why don't I start working with some people who speak Mandarin? And why don't I just learn under a Mandarin broker? So I started interviewing a few different brokerage in Chinatown. I walked into Chinatown with like one has the biggest sign, and I went up and they said their split for me is 30-70 because I'm a new agent. They don't want to give me like a good split. And then I talked to another agent who is also in KW Philly, but he's part of another team. So he was thinking about switching brokerage, and he told me, he's like, why don't you talk to this guy, Joey? He's opening up a 2nd location in Chinatown, and I can set up a meeting for you. So with him setting up a meeting, I went to meet Joey, and the first impression that I have with Joey was he looks young. Like, he was wearing glasses and he doesn't look that old. I was expecting someone who has great experience and a bit older. Well, actually Joey is kind of old. He's at his late 40s, mid 40s. But at the beginning, he just looks younger. So I also met Victor, who's my coworker now, but he was Joey, well, he's still Joey's assistant. So it was just weird. Like, why would you hire a Hispanic guy that, like, why would you hire, Victor does not look like an assistant to me. So first impression, weird. And then I went to talk to him. He's so quiet. He's really not himself. He was just, that's just kind of how Joey is when he see new people, better split. So I'm like, I'm gonna go with him. Obviously, I wanna make more money. So I started to texting him, have all the paperwork signed, and then he texted me after a couple of days. He said, hey, you wanna stop by our Northeast office? It's at this location. I'd like to introduce other people to you. So I went up to the office. I met my other coworkers like AJ and other couple guys that was in the office, and I went to see Joey. And prior to that, I think I had a specific question that I want to ask Joey about, but he didn't return my text for like 2 days. With him, I told him, I said, listen, Joey, if I end up working with you, I need you to respond to my message. Like, you cannot delay on responding my text message. You have to be, you know, taking care of, pay attention to your agent. And he's like, okay, okay. So that was the first impression. I wasn't sure if I made the good decision. I just didn't know. And then obviously he didn't respond my text message, made me kind of doubting me switching to this company. But in January, when I first switched this company, Joey went back to China for a month. He didn't really coach me through the whole process, but I've been keep contacting him. I said, hey, I'm ready to go. I want a business. I want leads. Throwing me some leads. He's been throwing me buyer leads along the way. And then also I purchased Zillow Premier Agent at that time. So I started closing my first listing in 3 months. And then I also closed a couple buyer deals through Zillow, and then also the leads that Joey gave it to me. So in the next part of the video, I do want to talk to you guys about 3 things that, as I can recall, that shows, you know, how like good a broker he is, just, you know, in person in general. Like, he's a good person. So the first thing that I realized was, I don't know if you guys remember, I had this couple who were looking to buy a $500,000 house with me for 6 months straight. I recall that I even went to pick them up from the work and then drive them to see the houses for multiple weekends. And then they ended up purchasing properties through the listing agent. So that happened to me. It kind of ended our relationship there. We did not have a buyer agency contract signed. I remember I was calling Joey in the parking lot and telling him what happened. And I was crying. And then he was like, well, using this as a mistake, that next time, if you take our client for this much, always have a buyer agency contract signed. So he was there to kind of coach me and then walk me through from these obstacles. And the second thing that I can recall is I've had this really difficult buyer agent when my buyer this listing agent, it's a flip that this investor, who's also the seller, who's also the real estate agent, purchased a couple years ago. My client ended up purchasing the multi-unit. So when we are at the end with transferring the lease, there are a couple issues with rent. So I was a little confused because the whole sale has been nothing but stressful. So I didn't really know how to come up with the calculation for the lease. And keep you guys in mind, my buyer at the time, she's pregnant, and we've been on the closing for about more than 2 hours. Prior to that, we also have a couple issues with the sale and the signing paperwork with other couple items with repair. So the whole show was just a mess. So when it comes to the lease, right, I was already kind of drained, and you know, I was kind of confused with like collecting the different rent from the lease prior. So I called Joey, and he came up with an addendum for me when I was at the closing table dealing with the difficult listing agent. So he did everything for me, and then he just faxed it to the title company right away. He put the specific terms of words in the contract for me, obviously, you know, for my buyer to protect their best interest. So I don't know if any other broker do that kind of thing for the agent, but especially with that particular deal, I was under a lot of pressure because everything was on me. My clients were looking up to me and they want me to protect them. And you know, I was a little lost on what I was supposed to do because it was my first couple deals. At that time, I feel like it's a lot easier for broker just kind of walk away, not to deal with this kind of stress. But the fact that he took the time to write up the addendum and do the calculation for me immediately when I was still at closing, it just shows how much he cares for his agents and he really have my back. And the last thing I want to tell you guys about the story was I've made a mistake when it was pretty recent. I thought I made a video about it. I was going really aggressive on doing something that I'm not supposed to do. So I was supposed to apologize to the listing agent, which I didn't. So the listing agent were really pissed off and kind of contacted Joey through email and claiming that he was gonna take some actions to take to the NARS, the Realtor Association, about me. So I went up to Joey's office and I told him exactly what happened. He was like, just let me take care of it, it's okay. So basically what he was trying to do is he's gonna go ahead and apologize to the agent. But this story, more of the story, it just goes to show you guys how much he's willing to take the responsibility off as a broker from the mistake that the agent made versus, you know, put the pressure on the agent and have the agent take care of it, or just throw the agent under the bus. Just the 3 things that I can think of, but there are so many more. He didn't just do that to me. He did it to pretty much all the agents in the office. We've had more than 21 agents in the office and he's been helping pretty much every single one of them. And you know, I just kind of want to show you guys the aspect of finding a great broker. Like, it's not easy. I just wanted to share my story of how me and my broker met and what are some good qualities that you're supposed to look for in a broker. So if you liked today's video, please, you know, hit a thumbs up button and like this video, subscribe to my channel, comment fortune cookies down below. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.